Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to subscribe, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, following Kelvin and his party, we see them traveling by carriage, heading southwest through a forest. As Melfina flies above the carriage, Kelvin thinks about how they're all in a rush, heading towards an elven village. As they get deeper into the forest, Eiffel mentions how the forest feels familiar, but Kelvin reasons that it's her elven blood that makes her feel at home in any forest. Butting in, Sarah wonders why there are even elves on this eastern continent they're currently on, but Melfina states that whilst Sarah was sealed away, elves had migrated from a nearby continent onto this one, all protected by the town of Gon. Deep in thought, Kelvin thinks about their reason for heading to this elven village, revealing that he had told the guildmaster that the assassins were sent from Tryson. Hearing this, the guildmaster admits that Tryson had been acting suspicious, insisting that the Black Wind members Kelvin had captured a while ago had nothing to do with the Tryson kingdom. Since it seems that Tryson are sending people after Kelvin, the guildmaster reveals that he has received reports of multiple other towns nearby being disturbed, all coincidentally towns right next to the kingdom of Tryson. Additionally, the guildmaster states that Tryson had started to skirmish with the town of Gon. Luckily there has been no reports from the town of Peace, Perith, nor the water agriculture town, Turai. Hearing that Tryson is focusing on Gon, Kelvin wonders if Tryson's motive is to capture slaves, which the guildmaster confirms. Believing that there must have been some sort of power swap on Tryson, the guildmaster warns Kelvin to be ready in case they send more people after Kelvin, or worse, wage war. Before Kelvin leaves, the guildmaster mentions how he has a special task for Kelvin, handing Kelvin a letter. The guildmaster reveals that it's a special S-rank up exam from Lenhart Gon, the Beast King of Gon. Telling his party about the news, everyone has nothing but respect for Kelvin, being noticed by the ruler of Gon. Sarah wonders what are the conditions needed to rank up to S, learning that Kelvin needs approval from 2 rulers, but luckily Queen Tsubaki from Turai had approved, which must have made King Lenhart curious about Kelvin. Eiffel asks what this King Lenhart is like, prompting Melfina to tell everyone that due to a custom in his town, Lenhart at a young age had left town to go on a journey, and when he returned he had achieved the rank S adventurer status. Hearing this, Kelvin has nothing but respect for Lenhart, but secretly wonders what would happen if they clashed. Finding it weird, Ryan wonders why such a powerful king would need the help of their party, but Kelvin states that something is definitely wrong with their circumstances and that the kingdom of Tryson is planning something. Just then, Kelvin senses an arrow flying towards their carriage, but it had been purposely fired as a warning shot by elves. Diffusing the situation, Kelvin announces that he had been purposely summoned by King Lenohart himself, showing off the invitation letter. Apologizing for attacking them, the elder of the elven village Nelraz appears. As Nelraz approaches Kelvin's party, he is stunned, calling out to Lumal, all whilst staring at Eiffel. Returning to his village first, Nelraz sits with Kelvin and his party, apologizing for mistaking Eiffel for someone he knew. Wondering who this Lumal is, Kelvin asked that Nelraz tell them more about this Lumal, hoping to learn about Effie's past. Understanding the situation, Nelraz talks about a terrible incident 20 years ago on a separate continent. He had lived peacefully in his village, until one day they were attacked by a fire dragon king. The Dragon King had apparently been humiliated by an elf, demanding to offer the elf, but when no one confessed, the Dragon King began tearing through the village, resulting in half of the elves passing. The Dragon King had only stopped when an elf by the name of Lumal stepped up, offering to be a sacrificial lamb, but the Dragon King knew she wasn't the one she was looking for. Instead, the Dragon King asked for Lumal's hand in marriage, and in return he would cease the violence. Accepting, Lumal flew away with the Dragon King, but this leaves Kelvin wondering why he relocated here. Nelraz reluctantly revealed that they had one day stumbled upon Lumal's corpse in the forest. Fearing that the Dragon King would return, Nelraz and his town fled. Hearing all of this, Sarah wonders if Eiffel is Lumal's daughter, but Melfina corrects her, stating that Eiffel is an half-elf, meaning that she is of human and elven descent, and if an elf was to have a child with a dragon, the dragon blood would easily override the elven blood. Still, the fact that Eiffel looks so alike to Lumal, Kelvin doesn't rule out that Lumal and Eiffel may be related. Thanking Nelraz for the details, Eiffel states that learning about her past isn't a priority, as she is currently the happiest person in the world, being with Kelvin and the others. Happy to hear that, Nelrez asks to now get onto why Kelvin is here. Nelrez states that King Lenhart had believed that there is a new type of monster, solely kidnapping elves. Nelrez reveals that he has placed special talismans throughout the forest to lead creatures away from their village, but Kelvin thinks about how those talismans can easily be dispelled, just like how Kelvin found where this village was. Nelrez adds that it seems this special monster only focuses on kidnapping and not killing, and that even soldiers from Gon failed to stop it. Understanding the situation, Kelvin asks for permission to renovate the elven village, promising to not allow any more of the elves be taken. Trusting Kelvin's words, Nelrez allows it, making Kelvin excited to face these monsters. That night, we cut to several monsters, all being commanded by some men. These men begin mocking the weak Gon soldiers sent to stop them, stating that their army is composed of demons and beasts. The leader of this shady group reveals that General Tristan had purposely fed Gon information regarding the attackers, and simply killed whoever Gon sent at them, stating that they have special collars that can tame any creature, even S-rank monsters. As the shady men continue closer to the elven village, one of them is suddenly shot down, putting everyone on guard, as they can't see the attackers. Cutting to Eiffel and Kelvin, we see Kelvin has borrowed Effie's farsight skill, both able to spot the shady men from afar. With Eiffel sniping the men from afar, Eiffel thanks Kelvin for crafting her this new silent bow. Kelvin mentions how he had built a watchtower that can't be seen under Melfina's fog spell. The water surrounding the village has been cursed with Sarah's black magic, and Kelvin's party are on standby. With all preparations ready, Kelvin orders his party to begin their mission. With Ryan and Melfina making their way through the shady men and towards their base, we see the shady men's vice commander learn of his men being wiped out by adventurers. Blowing on a horn, the vice commander summons a gigant lord, prompting Melfina to leave the creature to Ryan. Running along the gigant lord's arm, Ryan attempts to plunge her blade into the creature, but the gigant lord's skiing is too thick, shattering her blade. Easily swiping Ryan away, Ryan gets serious, dual-wielding sword all whilst Alex equips a blade for himself. Fusing their blade with lighting, Ryan and her wolf easily strike down the gigant lord, shocking everyone. Just then the vice commander calls for the gigant lord to awaken, imbuing and reviving the gigant lord with flames. Comparing the gigant lord's flames to Sarah's flames, Ryan has nothing to fear, simply enhancing her strikes with more potent lightning, this time releasing a more powerful lightning strike, ending the battle for good. As Melfina praises Ryan's hard work, we cut back to Kelvin, who senses a powerful incoming projectile, barely able to block it. Out of nowhere, a mysterious man floating in appears with his female servants, ready to fight Kelvin. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and comment.